Now, there's no doubt about it that Star Wars is an ever-evolving franchise and going to be very expansive among what John, Dave, George, and even Tony Gilroy is going to do and really put out there to really kind of just adapt the Star Wars franchise, really taking a lot of creative aspects from Star Wars Legends and throwing it into the current canon as well. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future Star Wars updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. So, there's a lot of things going on right now. We know that Tamora Morrison has been really slamming Disney recently because of what they did to him by snubbing him from appearing in Mando Season 3. He was supposed to get involved. Disney completely just put him to the wayside. Not the right thing to do, especially if you had plans for him to come back and leaving him pretty much on the back burner and stringing him along. But the next thing that I really do want to focus on is what Pedro Pascal's thoughts are on the Mando Season 3 backlash, the fan criticism against Season 3, and exactly what they think about the whole story aspect of this particular season surrounding Din, Grogu, Bo-Katan, and others out there. And I think that fans are going to have mixed reactions on this. I know that there's a lot of fans out there that love Pedro and hate Pedro because he actually has specific views about the fandom, almost near similar to that of Kathleen Kennedy, and we're going to be tapping into every single element of this right now. So, one thing that we do know about when it comes to Pedro is that he has been in a very big issue with Kathleen Kennedy himself, surprisingly, with the Skeleton Crew series after he was let go and fired as making 2 cameos in the Skeleton Crew show as Din. So, on top of this, alright, with actor Pedro Pascal lately becoming more direct with the fan base after the recent backlash related to The Mandalorian Season 3, Pedro went on to offer his views on the fandom and the current state of the community. Pedro stated the following to the fans: "I just think it's out of this world crazy that so many fans are getting bent out of shape over a fictional story. I just can't fathom how people live like that, and sure, maybe we didn't tell our best story this season, or maybe it didn't live up to expectations, but people need to seriously calm down now. Because it's just like what Kathy says, purely entertainment and nothing to take so seriously. We are not ruining childhoods here, or anything like that. I just think fans need to grow up and deal with it. John and Dave worked very hard on this season, and of course, I get it, they didn't have all the creative control that they would have wished for when they were writing this thing, but I really do hold so many of these fans responsible for creating unrealistic expectations for Star Wars." Let me just stop right here about what Pedro's saying, is that I don't believe that he has the full idea of what the fans are really like. The fans are very passionate. It's why they bring up their opinions. It's why they really kind of express themselves by really kind of getting a little irritated and frustrated about some of the decisions made by Disney. I mean, let's be honest about this. You know, it's just like anything. If you're disrupting something that you're so passionate about, of course you're going to react in a negative way. And that's just how it is. It's because a lot of fans are truly passionate people. Star Wars does affect everyday lives. It has affected everyday, people's childhoods, and it is something that people cherish, more so than almost any other franchise out there. There's something special about Star Wars. A lot of people would go as far to say that there once was something special about Star Wars, but when you look at stuff like this, about how Pedro's views, like I said before, they're near similar to that of Kathleen Kennedy, where he believes that this has no kind of impact on, the day-to-day lives of people, or their childhoods, or their passion about a specific franchise that they watch, and that he views it as purely just strict entertainment, and that's it. Nothing more. Nothing more different than a different franchise. That's basically his outlook on that. And maybe some of you guys agree with him, but I don't. I feel that Star Wars is something bigger than anything out there. There's something magical about it that I really can't put into words, but there is something that about Star Wars that really just touches the fans, minds and souls in a way that really kind of just makes you really excited every single time it pops up on TV. So anyways, he goes on to elaborate. These stories are for children after all. Fans need to chill out like now. Everything the girl power that fans are having issues with, and everything about fans calling it girl power taking over Star Wars is ridiculous and just flat out not true. We didn't and never intended to do what fans like to call a bait and switch. That just did not happen. You see, Bo-Katan is a leader, and we had to follow that story. Din was never pushed to the side as a nobody character. He's still easily the main character on Season 3, so I don't know where fans are getting these things in their heads from. I think it's just fans are expecting unrealistic things related to Star Wars, and it ends up upsetting everybody, and well, that's just not good for even the creators. It's a huge responsibility for them, and fans just ruin the experience. I am happy to be working on Season 4, and Jon and Dave do in fact have more control over it, so that shall be interesting, I will admit. Now look, guys, I'm not a hater of Pedro Pascal or anything like that. I may not agree with him on everything, but what I do not agree with him on is how he's kind of downplaying what Star Wars really is all about and what the fandom is all about. There's something, like I said before, so unique that can never be copied for the Star Wars franchise, and how the fandom is. The spirit of the fandom, right, is just something of its own. And when you look at Pedro and how his views are very much alike Kathleen Kennedy's. Number 1, it's entertainment only. Number 2, it's only meant for children. And number 3, it's really something to not take seriously and has no impact on the day-to-day lives of people. And look, like I said before, maybe you guys don't agree with my views on that either, and that's okay. I just feel that Star Wars is bigger than just flipping on the television, watching it, and then just leaving, or anything like that, of going to the theaters and not having a good feeling about it. There is something bigger and larger about this franchise than I believe than Marvel or Harry Potter. There's something unique about it. Very different. So it's interesting about what he's saying and what he's putting out there about how he did kind of talk more about the whole girl power thing, and how there was never a case in the season where Din was put to the wayside, and how there's no such thing as a bait and switch in this season. I don't know what your view is on that, about what Pedro is saying. According to him, that was never intended because Bo-Katan was meant to be the leader. And so, you know, that's basically his outlook on this. I don't know what you guys have to say. Do you really think that there was a bait and switch or not in Mando Season 3? I, however, thought that there was. There was something about it that was very much odd. How they abruptly just switched the roles, or the focus, I should say, of Din himself and Bo-Katan, where Bo-Katan was literally like the focus out of nowhere. And look, you know, I think it's fair to say that it is called The Mandalorian. I guess it could pertain to any Mandalorian if you want to think about it that way, but wouldn't you want to call it The Mandalorians then? That would make a lot more sense. I mean, that just kind of, you know, makes a little bit more logic there, but anyways, I think it was certainly a bait and switch because Kathleen Kennedy had a large hand in the script of Season 3, but not during filming, so let's be clear about that too. Anyways, guys, fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.